Welcome! So, in today's explainer, we're going to break down something you've probably heard a ton about, but maybe you're not 100% sure what it actually is. We're talking about the spike protein. Okay, let's just dive right in. Have you ever wondered how a virus, something so small you can't even see it, manages to pull off a full-on invasion of your body's cells? Well, it all comes down to something that acts just like a secret key. A key that's designed to pick the locks on your very own cells. So, to really understand this microscopic break-in, let's first get to know the secret weapon itself. What is a spike protein? Okay, so here's the official definition. If you could zoom way in on a coronavirus, you'd see its whole surface is just covered in these little pointy bumps. They're made of proteins and sugars, and believe me, they are not just there for decoration. So, long story short, if you remember just one thing, it's this. The spike protein is the bumpy part of the virus that does all the dirty work of getting it inside our bodies. And this secret key idea, it's really the perfect way to picture what's going on. The virus has a key, and you guessed it, your cells have the lock. And here's a cool little fun fact for you. This is actually where the name coronavirus comes from. When scientists first saw one under a microscope, all those spikes sticking out reminded them of a crown. And corona, well, that's just the Latin word for crown. Okay, so we've established that the spike protein is the key. Now let's get into exactly how this key picks the lock on our cells. It's basically a three-step heist. First, the key has to find the exact right lock, a specific spot on the outside of one of your cells. Next, it latches on and, this is the cool part, it actually changes its shape, kind of like a key turning. And finally, once that happens, boom, a door opens and the virus sneaks inside to start making trouble. All right, quick time out for a vocab break, just to make sure we're all on the same page. A cell is just one of the trillions of tiny building blocks that make you, you. A host is the person or animal a virus is living in, so in this case, that's us. And to infect someone just means the virus got inside their cells and is now making more copies of itself. Now, it turns out that not all keys are created equal. Some are way better at picking locks than others. Let's take a look at the spike protein from the COVID-19 virus as a perfect case study. All right, you know what time it is. It's pop quiz time. Let's see if you've been paying attention. Get ready. True or false? Okay, here's the question. The COVID-19 virus and the original SARS virus, they're both coronaviruses, right? So does that mean their spike proteins, their keys, are basically identical? What do you think? True or false?
And the answer is false. Nope. While they are very similar and they're both designed to pick the very same lock on our cells, the spike protein on the COVID-19 virus has, let's call it, a special upgrade. It's more like a master key.
And this is a massive deal. This new key doesn't just fit the lock, it has a kind of super grip. Scientists actually found it clings anywhere from 10 to 20 times more tightly than the spike from the original SARS virus. And that incredibly strong grip, that's a huge reason why it was able to spread so easily between people. So we've learned what a spike protein is and how its secret key works. But why does any of this really matter? Why is this important for you to know? Okay, before we wrap this up, let's do a super fast review of the big points. We learned the spike protein gives the virus its crown-like look, it acts like a key to unlock our cells, and that's exactly how the virus gets in and infects us. And this right here is the whole point. This is why scientists have been studying these spike proteins so intensely. Because if you know exactly what the key looks like and you know how it works, you can start designing ways to block the keyhole. It's that simple. Understanding the threat is always the first step to fighting back. And really, that's the big question that scientists all over the world are still working on. It leaves you with something to think about. If the spike protein is the key, how do we change the lock? Thanks for joining me for this